Guys, welcome back to the Physique Factory podcast. As always, it's me with the intro. You never take a turn doing it, do you?
Nah, maybe I should just to catch people out. You know that. Just guys, welcome to the Physique Factory podcast.
I
I'm your
really,
host, Connor Moran.
really want to do the Mark Cole's voice. He's getting some shit at the moment, isn't he?
Is he? I've not really seen anything.
Well, fucking Mike's constantly fucking reposting his stuff that he's fucking getting people to do.
Oh yeah, his DMs where he sends the what do you call it, that tumbleweed? Have you had one of those from him?
No, not yet.
I definitely have had messages from him. Mark Coles, let's just look. Yeah, look, I've got one.
You got one?
Oh, I
You
don't know if
can't.
you can see that actually. I'll send you a screenshot. Um, To be fair to Mark Cole, like I'll give him his credit. Like I done the M10 mentorship at the start of my coaching career, and it was fucking brilliant. It was really good. So yeah, give him credit where credit's due. But yeah, I think a lot of people aren't impressed with the business mentory kind of stuff. It's quite a weird world, the business mentor world, isn't it? Because like a lot of folk like to call them out, really, don't they? Like a
Yeah,
lot of business mentors.
all the time. Well, it's just mainly the DMing thing where the if they're DMing, cold DMing you, then guess what they're going to ask you to do? But that's what Mike said to me. Well, they're right though, aren't they? Because that's what
Yeah.
they do. They tell you to fucking cold DM people.
And how do you feel when someone sends you a cold DM? Because I know I don't really like it.
Stuff. Yeah, I do not want a fucking cold DM.
Yeah, we like I don't know if everyone gets it all the time, but we as coaches get loads of them, like absolutely fucking loads of them. The best one are those guys that are like, "Oh, I can help you grow your account," and you look at their account, and they've got 20 followers. I'm like, "Can you?"
Yeah, literally. It's always the ones who've got like fucking not even 1,000 followers. That I can fucking like get your account up to 10K. What?
Yeah, I think with business mentors, it's not really what we're meant to be talking about today, but we'll quickly go over it. I think if anyone's thinking about getting one, be very, very, very careful, because a lot of them will charge a lot of money, and to be honest, like you won't get your worth out. A lot of them, there's a lot of dodgy bastards out there that basically, I think a lot of them just see it as a quick fix for making money. Charge a lot up front, and then obviously under deliver, and then that's that. You know,
Yeah, I think there's only one that I'd say that's decent. Well, two of them, the biceps and banter guys. That you know what you're getting with them, and they are like genuine.
yeah, yeah, they're very genuine. I think that's actually a very good way to describe them. If anyone's thinking anything like that, I'd highly recommend the what you call it, the members group. They've got 99 quid a month. It's worth its weight in gold. Anyway, today we were actually going to talk about 5 things that we see other coaches doing wrong. And funny enough, we've started with a sixth one, really, in a sense, by talking about other coaches end up hiring, business mentors that aren't worth it. Like again, touching on that is a tough one because they sell a dream, don't they? These guys, and there's loads of people doing this kind of thing nowadays. Crypto scams, even like different property kind of like what would you call it, developers and things like that. Like there's so many people out there that are trying to sell you the dream of getting rich quick kind of thing.
Forex trading, stuff like that. It's
Yeah, forex trading. Yeah, that's always one. Like, yeah, it's wild. Like, I know people who have lost like money into like scams with these kind of things, like crypto and forex and things like that. And, like smart people as well, not people that are like dumb. And like, yeah, I just it's easy to get suckered into it. Posting potential screenshots from clients or people working with them. Oh, look at this. I've maybe had this 10 grand month or whatever. Right, cool. Maybe you've had 10 grand month this month because everything's went well. But what's happened over the last 12 months? What's happened over the last 24 months? It's like quick wins. It's like me and you posting, oh, new client has lost 4 kilos in 2 weeks. Well, if that's all we ever posted, I'd wonder what happens to that client after the 2 weeks, wouldn't you?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's move on to five
What
things.
that you meant to be talking about.
Get wrong. I'll start off with those coaches who live in Scotland and they drink buckfast on the odd occasion.
Yeah, I don't actually know any personally, but I've heard about them. Yeah, I would stay away from them. The odd occasion is fucking right. I don't think I've touched that stuff since. Oh no, I had some at Christmas actually. That's like just before Christmas. Yeah.
Fucking shit, that.
What was that?
Fucking rough shit, that.
It is rough shit that, but Yeah, the least said about it, the better at the minute. Um, I can handle it not too bad as long as I don't drink like 3 bottles of it. That's when we start to have issues.
Yeah, yeah, as we found out. But
Yes. No, the first one we're going to talk about is like, we're talking about things that we see other coaches doing what we see is wrong. I mean, it's not necessarily up to us to say what's right and what's wrong, but in our opinion, it is wrong. So we're going to start by saying I think we're going to talk about coaches that haven't actually, been through any sort of process themselves. It's like, but for example, I'm talking a lot about like photo shoots right now. I've done photo shoots before. I know what it's like. A lot of coaches haven't done that, have they?
or it's mint when there's a fat loss specialist and then themselves are fat.
Yeah. That's always a good one as well. And you would be surprised how many out of shape PTs there is out there. I actually put a poll on my Instagram stories not that long ago about like, would you go to a PT if they're out of shape? And some people said yes, depending on like the shape, if that makes sense. But yeah,
Clinically,
what was that?
clinically obese, morbidly obese.
Yeah, because like me and you, our idea of being out of shape, would be like kind of off season, bit of fluffy, that would be our idea of it. But like that serves a purpose, doesn't it? If a coach is going through a muscle gaining phase, that serves a purpose, and that's part of a bigger picture. So I don't see that as being out of shape by any means. And it's not to say that coaches need to be shredded all year round because that's just unrealistic. But definitely having been through that process. I mean, like obviously you've done it many times. Like, what are the benefits that you see having like been through a fat loss phase, an extreme fat loss phase yourself?
It's mainly like the back end of that diet, isn't it? So when you get to the back end of it, you're feeling like shit, everything's heavy. Well, a good example is like I'm coaching a lad at the moment. He's getting on stage in a few weeks, and he's saying, "Oh, mate, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that." I was like, "Don't worry, mate. I know what it feels like. I've been there. I know what he's feeling. The sleep's going to shit. His fucking hunger's through the roof. He's feeling fatigued, heavy. But if I didn't experience that, I'd be like, oh, this is weird. I don't know what to do with this. You just know it's part of the process. You sort of at the back in the prep. You just got to embrace it somewhat." And I just told him, look, mate, it is part of the process of getting this lean. You're getting this fucking lean, it sort of hurts, but it's just the way it's got to be, isn't it? When you get
Yeah.
stiff.
I think in that situation as well, you're a bit like, yeah, I've been there. Know what that feels like. Here's what I did. Like this is what helped me. And there's not many ways to empathize with that other than actually having done it. You know what I mean? And I was speaking to another coach the other day, Mark, and he was talking about this, and we're talking about, sometimes getting frustrated with clients that aren't getting the most out of the service and aren't doing what they need to do essentially. And he said that like he's going through a fat loss phase now and he's lost whatever, I can't remember what the weight was, but he's lost a lot of like body fat pretty quick, right? And his clients are like, how are you doing this? How are you losing so much fat so quick? And he's like, I'm just pulling up my spreadsheet. I'm just showing my data tracking. I'm just showing I'm sticking to my calories. I've rarely ate out. I'm doing my cardio. I'm doing my steps. I'm not missing a beat. That's how it's happening. So it gives you some sort of authority as well, I would say.
That's it, yeah, is that you're doing it, so why can't other clients do it?
Yeah,
No matter how
exactly.
busy, we're both fucking busy and stuff like that. Everyone just complains saying they're busy, can't do this, can't do that. There's always time. So prep your meals, stick to the diet, be
Yeah.
organized.
Everyone's fucking busy. Everyone in their own way, right? In their own whether they're busy on like the level that you see as busy or busy on the level that they see as busy, because everyone's got a different idea of it. Everyone's got a different idea of like I spoke to some clients who literally will write off the evening after 6 o'clock. Like they'll not do anything. And they're like, if it can't be done before 6 o'clock in the evening, that's it. Their day's full. Sorry, I'm too busy. Like so again, if that's their idea of busy there is obviously untapped potential there, but like even so, we're all busy. So the busy excuse goes out the window. You've got to prioritize.
Yeah, exactly. We had this conversation. Well, we've had it a couple of times, haven't we? So
Yeah, it's frustrating though. It comes up time and time again, and it is a case of prioritizing, being good with your time management. I mean, like see yesterday, I said this to Sophie at the end of the day, and I hate sounding like a prick who's like, "Oh, look at me." But yesterday, I probably done more yesterday than most people do in a week. I made 6 bits of content. I done 30 check-ins. I trained. I dusted and I hoovered the gym. Done that. Ate all my meals as normal. Went home, had a shower, watch some TV, got that all into one fucking day, and I bet you there'll be people in one week, coaches in one week that won't do as much as that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like busy, nah, excuse. Sorry to say it. But like that kind of leads on nicely to another point where we're going to talk about this anyway, where coaches are too nice to their clients. Like they let them off for too much.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have authority, don't you? You need to put your foot down. And obviously, we're going back to that point that we just covered, then you need to walk the walk to have that authority, don't you? So, oh, you've done
Mm.
it, so I understand it. But I don't know if someone can buy into someone who's not done it, if you get me, themselves, because like you don't understand. I'd be like, you don't understand this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just gives you like the authority, and then with that, you can tell people what to do. You need to be straightforward with people because if you're saying, "Oh no, it's all right, don't do this, do this," you're literally paying for a service. Someone's paying you for a service. You need to be direct and say, "Right, get your fucking shit together." Obviously, you might need to say that a bit differently to depending on what client you're speaking to, but
Yeah.
yeah, you need to be like telling them get a bollocking because they're just going to continue doing what they're doing. And then we're like, "Oh, you know what, this coaching it for me. I'm not getting the result. I'm not getting where I want to be," and then you're going to lose a client.
Yeah.
So yeah,
In
you
a
need.
way, coaches enable them sometimes. And like I'm saying this from a position of I've done this in the past. I've made this mistake in the past. So like way back at the start, I was obviously that scared to like, upset someone and lose a client potentially. It's like, oh, I'm walking on eggshells. I don't really want to say, oh, could you try this? All right, yeah, yeah, maybe you couldn't because of this. Like, whereas now I'm so direct. I'm just like, I can't be arsed with excuses. I really can't. Like, I'm not interested one bit in hearing excuses. I'm interested in hearing how you're going to make solutions to those excuses, but I'm not interested in hearing the excuses. So, like, I think that's a thing that comes with experience. Like, a lot of coaches will get that wrong to start with. It's okay, but you need to learn how to manage that, and as you say, manage it with the right clients. Because the way I talk to one client will definitely not be the same as the way I talk to the next client. You're saying the same thing, but you're saying it a very different way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, literally, what you just said then, you're not interested in the excuses, you're interested in the solution to it. That's what you literally say that to everyone every time someone's fucked up or whatever. It's like, right, what's the problem? And what can we do about it?
Yeah, it's a mindset thing though as well, because you'll have many clients who will just say, right, I couldn't do this, but what I've done instead is this. What do you think of this? Do you think that's all right? And then you'll have other clients that'll be like, oh, I couldn't do this, so that's that. That's it, fucked. Like, you know what I mean? Like that negative mindset. And our job in this sense is to turn those mindsets around a bit. Well, actually, okay, you can't do plan A, but what's plan B? And if plan B doesn't work, what's plan C? There's always a way. And again, like, let's use you as an example in this bodybuilding prep you're about to start. If there was, for some reason, I don't know, a power outage, what if it was COVID-19 or something again, let's say as well, and the shops were empty, you'd find a way to somehow stick to a meal plan and stick to your prep, wouldn't you? Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
was prepping during COVID. I remember fucking switching all my meals up for whatever I could find in the shop. Like, you
mm,
find a way, don't you?
literally. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever bollocks like that pops up, there's always ways around, isn't there?
There's always something you can do. I've never been in a situation where a client where I'm like, yeah, you know what, you can't do anything. You'll just have to give up. I've never had to say that.
Some people are just looking for an excuse to fucking fall off, though, even if that how small it is.
Yeah.
So my tires like fucking flat. I can't do that. I can't do that. I was like, it's a flat tire, mate. Just you can do something about it. Just fucking literally walk to the shop.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's just anything. And then as a coach, you cannot enable that. You cannot be like, oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, yeah. Well, then they're not going to get anywhere, are they? They're going to keep that mindset, so nothing's ever going to change. So I think, yeah, it's a thing that comes with experience. It comes with again gaining authority, which comes from doing the process yourself. It's all very linked, isn't it? The last couple of points we've made there. It's all kind of in one, isn't it? But yeah, I think you know discipline with your clients. If you've got discipline with yourself, you're gonna have discipline with your clients, aren't you? Like if I can do it, then why aren't they doing it? That's yeah, ties in nicely. We'll say for that one.
I
So
think like going back to that first one as well. So imagine getting prepped by someone who's never been on the stage.
yeah, I have a caveat to that because I have been prepped by someone who's not been on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and brilliant. Like there are absolutely no complaints with it, and I think there will always be a caveat to that or caveats to that. Like there's always going to be the odd person. Like there's always the odd football manager who never played football or was a really shit footballer. You know what I mean? And that can happen. I'm not saying that can't happen. And this guy has like prepped a lot of like top natural bodybuilders, so it definitely can happen. But I totally get why people would be more bought in if someone had been on stage and had, shown their worth. And you don't even necessarily, again, going back to the footballer comparison, you don't necessarily need to be a good bodybuilder to prep other bodybuilders. You just have to understand it, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Like
Yeah.
it's literally you just got to understand like the process that you got to go through.
Yeah. It's not very often the top bodybuilders are great coaches, is it?
Oh no, there's never a chance. Like all the top bodybuilders, they're probably not the best coaches.
No. And again, these guys are maybe more concentrated on like actually being an athlete, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Even look at like what you call him, Cam Raystrick. I'm sure he's competed like once or something.
He competed once and he won once. Yeah, I remember the year he did it and the first time was he had to do that to gain experience and that's why he did it. And then now he's like probably one of the best coaches in the world, isn't he?
There you go. One of the best coaches in the world, been on stage once. So I mean, it's proof, but he's still been through the process himself. Still lived and breathed it for years. Still got years and years of experience of living and breathing it. Like just again, like just because someone's not stepped on stage does not make them a bad coach by any means. But like again, it's because Callum stepped on stage once, but I bet you he's like dieted himself down plenty of times, been through gaining phases. I bet he's done all that. In fact, he has. Like we know that. Like so. Um, like it is. He's still been through the process multiple times. He's still lived and breathed it, and that's the important part, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And to be fair, when he did get on stage, he got on stage fucking shredded.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how he looked, to be fair, but yeah, like so he's not really a caveat. He's just only done it once, if that makes sense. So in a way, I'm more qualified than him. So maybe I should step things up from the bodybuilding scene. I was laughing the other day. I was like, "Oh, I should have bring my trophies into the gym and make it look like a proper bodybuilding gym." And I was like, "There's no first place ones. I can't really do that. It's a bit embarrassing."
Fucking hell.
A bunch of second place trophies.
Go back and get a sword. Go back and
Aye,
win.
yeah, go back and get a sword now, and that's it. Fuck that, man. I went down to like 1900 calories for a couple of days there last week, and it just about wiped me out. Like I didn't feel normal until today, basically, after that. But I did also climb a mountain, play 18 holes of golf, and train as usual, so it's probably something to do with it.
Nice. Where'd you play, Glen Eagles?
Yeah, just in the par three course, so just a nine hole, like so. I'm still doing that, but I just went around it twice. But I'm playing at Carrick this weekend, so it's like Loch Lomond, not that Loch Lomond course, but like at Loch Lomond, if you know what I mean. Um, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I've got a wee pair of golf trousers and everything now, James.
Nice. Have you
Yeah.
all tartan and stuff like that? Scottish.
No, I went for a nice set of navy ones, and then I realised I had no clothes that go with navy, so I had to order a wee quarter zip, a wee grey quarter zip to go with it, and yeah, looked the part. Basically, look like Tiger Woods now, and play like a prime Tiger Woods, not the current Tiger Woods.
2000 Tiger Woods.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what they seem to call me anyway. Like, I don't know. Like people say things, but apparently that's what I'm like. So yeah, we'll see. Um, what the Physique Factory Golf Day needs to happen sometime. It's a shame you're prepping this year because that this would have been the year to do it.
Still happened, couldn't it?
Well, it depends if you can hack 18 holes of golf.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think if it got into like August and stuff like that, then maybe not. But apparently, we might be going to Ibiza in fucking June as well. I'm like, what?
Might as well go all out. You doing Nick Broomhead sort of prep.
Yeah, well, I think Christy might be going as well, and Nick. So
So your coach is going to Ibiza, so like you've got to go with him.
yeah, pretty much that.
Well, fair enough. I might try that with some clients. Like, right, part of the prep, Ibiza. Um, Sophie, it's a work thing. I've got to go. Right. So, following on from those other points, another one we had was being able to get people in shape, yes, but not being able to keep people in shape and help them either progress or move on from that. Because there's a lot of like, 8 week, 12 week shreds. We do an 8 week shred. Like our 8 week shred is designed to handle the back end. So we've thought about this. So our 8 week shred is better than the rest, right? But like there is a lot of people that will do 8 week transformations, 12 week transformations, sometimes 16 week transformations. It doesn't matter how much fucking weeks it is. And you see these people that make these changes and it's incredible, it's great, but then after that, like they end up back where they started. And again, this is a bit on coach, a bit on client, because sometimes you can coach it to the best of your ability and still the client will, relapse and go back to where they started. But like I think a lot of coaches just don't know how to handle that period. Again, probably because they've not been through it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, you need to get down to that level of body fat or that fucking being that aggressive with the food, and you know what you're gonna feel like afterwards, and then you know what your client's gonna be like, and you know the right solutions, what you need to, well, you know the way forward.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And again, we've talked about it in the podcast before. We've done quite a few different podcasts where we talk about like, the post diet, if that makes sense, the reverse diet. And it's fucking tough. Like it took me a few times to get it right. and it's still not any easier. Even like right now, like as I say, today's not too bad, but like the last few days, like trying to go extreme in the calories, try to push myself on a little bit, like I was feeling glimpses of what it felt like to be at that stage again. And I was like, oh fuck, like this is bad. And like you could just eat and eat and eat. Like even right now, like I could just fucking eat as much food. Like see if I was to do like a 10K calorie challenge right now, I'd have it done in an hour. Like it'd be fucking done. Like it's nice in a sense with your appetite's like that, but it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, it is. I think it's just when ghrelin and leptin are really skewed, aren't them? The other
Mm.
hunger hormones, and then you get to that point where I was like the first time I did it, I didn't know what it'd be like, and I didn't know what I was experiencing. Like the cravings of that waking up at 3 in the morning, raiding the cupboards for boxes of cereal, crunch up clusters. They are bad boy. Um,
If I did.
yeah, they are fucking the best. Them, the chocolate ones. But yeah, I was literally just fucking nailing everything in the house. Felt like shit, looked like shit, performance was like shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't understand why I couldn't stop eating, and I literally gained. What did I gained? I went from fucking like 77 to 100 in a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's a lot to be fair. The most I heard was a guy told me he gained 40 pounds across a weekend.
£40. What's that in kg?
So
That's,
what, just under 20 kilos.
yeah, fucking hell,
That's
yeah.
pretty similar to what you just talked about, though.
Yeah, it's doable, that though, isn't it?
Not normally, but in the like kind of post-diet phase, yes, it is if you've got lean. But the whole ghrelin and leptin thing, do you think that's a time dieting thing, or is that more a levels of leanness thing? Probably a levels of leanness, isn't
Yeah, levels of leanness when you get that fucking lean, then. But you know what? There's some caveats to that again, because I know loads of people like you just walking around, even if they're not competing, they're just fucking like shredded. Like, what the fuck was that? You feeling all right? It was like, yeah, yeah, I'm not hungry, I'm not fucking this, I'm not that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, give it like say 3, 4 weeks of dieting, they get on stage. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're just walking around the year round like that.
Stephen McDonald's a bit like that. I competed against him a couple of times, and that guy's just lean all the time. And he was like, I'm sure, like before he even started dieting, I'm sure he said he had something like 4,000 calories a day, just maintaining, and he's like shredded, and he's like prep day one. The guy's shredded already. Now he gets obviously silly shredded from shredded, but like he just starts off at like yeah baseline shredded level, which must make his prep a bit easier, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. Less duration at least. But the guy's a fantastic bodybuilder. I've competed against him a few times. That's why I've got so many second place trophies. It's one of those ones though, like you know when you get beat and you look at someone and you're like, fair enough. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're fair.
yeah.
That's it. Oh, it's like when you go backstage and you see someone and you're like, fuck it, I hope I get second now.
Yeah, yeah. When you know Stevie Mac was in the lineup, that's kind of how it felt, to be fair. But yeah, like some people like again, like the more I kind of got to like, I don't know him well, but like I obviously I've competed against him a couple of times, and like been in a couple of like kind of trips to bodybuilding shows that he's been at, and like from what I know of the guy, he's always doing something. Like so, he's always burning calories. So that input comes with a lot of output, if that makes sense. And also, like for his frame, for the size, because he's like, about heights with me, he's not like a tall guy, but he's got a lot of muscle for that frame. So again, muscle is obviously metabolically efficient, we'll call it. You burn more calories when you've got more muscle, you burn more calories at rest. So like, that will feed into that as well. And that's why, people with more muscle tend to find it easier to stay leaner. Like that's just a general statement. So having more muscle is never a bad thing, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But getting back to the point, like I think a lot of coaches don't know how to handle that because they've never been taught and they've never done it. So yeah, that's like again, maybe look at your coach and look at their results and look at are they putting out long-term results? Are they putting out afters after the afters? Which is something I don't do enough. You probably don't do enough either, but we've got them. We have got them there.
I've got Zane he's done 3 photo shoots. He's done one every year.
Yeah, yeah, it's something we talk about quite often. We could probably post more of the long term results that we get. Because like sometimes like it sounds bad, but like you've had a client that long, you almost forget how well they've done. Like you forget where they've come from, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's like, I'm buzzing where Zane's got to because each year is just getting better and better and better.
Yeah, that's it. But you just kind of get used to that, don't you? You get used to him being better and better and better, and you're like almost forget to mention it as much. So like shout out to all those long term clients that we've got that are smashing it because I'm looking up my list of clients right now, and so many of them have been with me over a year, which is fucking brilliant.
Brilliant.
It's really good, and that's where we start seeing the best results. Is like longer down the line like that, because again, in the long run, we know how to coach them. But again, a lot of coaches know how to do a quick shred, but they don't know how to do that. So that was something we see kind of going wrong within the industry a lot of the time as well. This was one from James. He's heard a lot of this in the industry. I've actually not heard that much of it, but I know it exists. It's like a lot of coaches will like take a long time to reply to a client's check-in, which I would say like replies are a thing within the industry that are almost glamorized. Oh, he texts back within 5 minutes. Like that doesn't bother me if it's a quick text back or something like that. Like I'll sometimes like not reply to my WhatsApps till a certain time of day. I'll like do it a few times throughout the day.
I've got
Um,
setups like that where you just
yeah. Because like it's inefficient if you're messaging back all the time. You're trying to do other stuff, but you're messaging back every time you get a text. Like, yeah, they get that many fucking WhatsApps in a day that like that's just not doable. So I would rather take longer to reply to a message and it be the right answer than be too quick. But when it comes to doing check-ins, if your check-in day for the client is Sunday, feedback on the Monday, the feedback should be on the Monday, not on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. And that's what we hear about, isn't it? Coaches fucking taking
well,
get back.
same day feedback for me.
Yeah. What's that, sorry?
Same day feedback for me.
You do the same day, yeah, but like same thing, you know what I mean? Like it's like I tell my clients to check in a Sunday, I set the expectation that they'll get feedback on a Monday or Thursday
That's it,
feedback.
setting the expectation where they're gonna get it and meeting that expectation. A lot
Yeah,
of the time they're not fucking getting the feedback till like 3, 4, 5 days or a week later. Like, what the
yeah,
fuck? Well, they missed it completely. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah. To be fair, some of my clients get same day feedback because they check in late on that morning because they've obviously cottoned on to when I do it. I'm quite routined, and they're like, ah, fuck, I'll just send it on Monday morning. Which, look, ultimately I don't mind, but it's when it starts like piling up and it's like you're late now. Now you've changed my fucking schedule for the day. Like that becomes a bit annoying. But
Do you
yeah,
start doing check-ins then on the Monday?
was that sorry?
Do you start doing check-ins? What time?
It depends, actually. I just said I'm quite routine, but it depends. Lately, I've been starting by doing content first and then going on check-ins. So I didn't start till 12 yesterday doing check-ins. Um, but like usually it'll be first thing as soon as I can. Um, but like at the end of the day, if someone sends me a check-in at 10 a.m. and I'm already deep and I'm past their name on my list because I've got like the list in front of me there, I'll go back to them at the end of it. Sure, that's not a problem. But it's when you've done all the check-ins and then they send you their check-in, and I'm like, really, like, come on, a fuck. But like, if it's happening every week, then you need to nip it in the bud. But if it happens at odd time, like, I'm
Yeah,
not.
and then I'll get back to them. But or if they tell me in advance saying, "Hey mate, it was like I can't check in on this day just because I'm away, or I've got this, I've got that," and I was like, "No, I appreciate you for telling me. That's cool. We'll just do it the next day. That's
Yeah.
cool." So
I
I
would
appreciate.
say early is better as well. Like, I had a client who went on holiday on Sunday, so she done hers on Saturday. I was like, cool.
Yeah, anything like that, as long as they let you know, that's cool. That's like most of the time they do. But it's
Yeah.
when clients say they fucking like they don't check in at all, and you send them a reminder. I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry mate, I'll do it later." I was like, "Well, I haven't got time for the next 2 days to sit down on my laptop and go through it because of
Yeah.
fucking one-to-one clients. I've got to make content. I'm doing something, etc."
It's respecting your time, isn't it, as well? Because ultimately you're running the business, you've got to be efficient, and obviously you've got a life as well. But like I think it says a lot about how serious they take the whole coaching process because like if you're not checking in on time, well, that shows you how little thought you're giving it, really, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the level of detail that come with those late check-ins as well tends to be less. So again, tells us a lot. Again, if you're a client listening to this and you've done it once, then please do not sweat. But if you're doing it every week, well, don't know. It's as easy as setting a fucking reminder on your phone, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's not just that. It's like a statement that they're making that they don't value like what you're doing, or they don't care about your time, or you know what I mean.
yeah, definitely. I would say so as well. With uh, with that, we'll move on to our final point, which is, and this might actually take some time here, James. Coaches who don't understand programming and exercise selection. Yeah, I'll let you start.
Oh, so see it all the time, copy and paste the plan. There you go. And I was like, they've not asked the client about any injuries, any preferences in terms of training or anything like that. It's
What
like,
kit they've got available?
Yeah, literally what kit they've got available. So what gyms like, so they might have fucking programmed in some like random plan and said, oh, they put like a hammer strength pull down in there. Well, my gym doesn't have hammer strength, it only has matrix. It's a pure gym. Yeah, I mean, I was like, what do you do then?
Yeah, yeah. Even just something as simple as like knowing getting into the resistance profiles of machines and things like that. I had someone in earlier who has got like a 2 centimeter tear apparently on the rotator cuff. Not sure what one apparently, but a 2 centimeter tear on one of the rotator cuffs. And then it's like, well, we've got a shoulder press there that's going from being somewhat like kind of lighter at the bottom to heavier at the top. So it's like, how much stability have we got in this position? Are we going to use a machine that gets heavier at the top? Is that going to be a good thing? Is that going to be a bad thing? And if you don't understand the machine mechanics, then you don't really know what you're even doing with it, do you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you got a dumbbell press and then the client's got that issue with the shoulder, and then you say, right, do a dumbbell press. Well, it's quite unstable and it's loading that length and position where there's going to be potentially more issues there. So
Mhm.
then you want to marry it up a little bit more and then maybe go for something like the shoulder press that you.
Like the Nautilus one, for example. But if you don't know what the profiles of the machines are, you don't know how to understand and break down, resistance profiles, strength profiles, then you can't do that. You can't pick that. And I think exercise mechanics is something that everyone should go learn. I think every single coach at some point in their life should go to Michael Gilden at Integra and do like at least I can't remember what it's called now, foundations or exercise mechanics lab or whatever the first level is, go do it. Like every single coach, like without doubt. Um, I Connor 10 for 10% off.
Well, it's even just like the skill aspect of doing it. So if we've got a new client who's fairly new to the gym, like 6 to 12 months in, it'd be the skill aspect of it. So if you like put them on like a hack squat where it's really like challenging at the bottom, where you're the weakest and you're under more load, you're gonna be more unstable there, and it's gonna be harder to control those ranges, then potentially you might want to reverse band it. And they might not have any injuries, but it's just that skill and the control element of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like again, all stuff that you learn going to Michael Integra as well, isn't it? Like, because that's where we've learned a lot of this stuff. But it's common sense at the end of the day. But sometimes common sense is hard to come by. But like when I first started coaching, and I remember PTing this girl. I've probably told this story on here before, and I was just like doing bodybuilding workouts because I didn't know anything else. And I had her do a leg day, and I remember like step ups aren't the most bodybuilding exercise, but I was trying to think of exercises that put step ups at the end, and she was doing it onto the bench, and she like fell over and just like cracked her head. And at that point, I realized I was like, maybe that leg day was too much for this woman who'd never trained legs in her life. Maybe a full leg day was too much. So yeah, like don't make the same mistake I made. Don't let it get to that stage where you're potentially actually fucking injuring your client, like a serious injury, not even just a gym-based injury, like a fucking head injury. Don't try and get to that stage. We don't want you to get sued.
Or you could fucking kill them because do you remember that Rabdo mile?
Abdul, yeah.
Rabdo, actually, I saw some lad, he's a bodybuilder, he just competed. He ended up in a hospital. He had Rabdo,
Oh
literally just
yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
from around here. I don't know him too well. He follows me and stuff like that. He got really fucking shredded in that fair play, but yeah, he ended up in hospital with Rabdo.
Yeah, it shows you it happens though, eh? Because like we joke about it a lot. We like obviously learned about it and then like joke about it a lot, but like I've never actually heard of it happening apart from that. So it just shows you. But like
So
again, if you've got a client that's really out of shape and you try and get them to do too much, like way too much, it can happen.
yeah, basically rhabdo is when muscle cells die. So if you over fucking do it, muscle cells die. This is when people, I say they're fairly new, but we've talked about someone who's competed. But yeah, it can happen. It happens for like sometimes the people when they're new to the gym, they can't tolerate it. They've got no experience of like resistance training, etc. And then it might cause an excessive amount of DOMs. That excessive amount of DOMs might lead to muscle death. And then when the muscle cell dies, it's got to get filtered out of your body somehow, and it goes through the kidneys, and then you can die through kidney failure.
Yeah, I never seen that woman again that I was talking about either. Someone said she was hooked up to dialysis or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think like programming and exercise selection, even from a practicality point of view, like have you like experienced the workout? Again, it's going back to what our first point. It really is all coming back to that. But have you experienced the workout? Do you know that actually doing a single arm cable pull down takes fucking ages if you're doing 3 or 4 sets of it? because it's single arm. So like, how many sets are you programming that for? Where is the single arm cable pull down compared to the next exercise you're going to do? Is it on the same floor of the gym? Like I've had that where clients have had gyms with multiple floors, and it's like, well, if we're going to do this machine, that's a way up 2 flights of stairs. So should we really change that to later in the workout and do the upstairs stuff at the same time and the downstairs stuff at the same time? All that kind of stuff.
Here's one. And then I've seen coaches do fucking some mad plans with some mad supersets. I was like, what time are you training in the gym at? I was like, oh, training at like 6 or 7. Oh yeah, when the gym's most busiest. So you want to get on the machine at that far end of the gym, and the machine at the other end of the gym. How's that like? How's that work?
Yeah, how's that possible? Yeah, and again, it's investigating, it's asking questions. What time do you usually train at? How busy is your gym at that time? Funny enough, my gym isn't that busy at 6 p.m. It's weird, right? We have got the weirdest kind of timings of any gym I've been to. So you go in like 7:30 this morning was fucking rammed. Like I wasn't ready. I'd not long woke up. I had a PT, and I was expecting it just to be me and that one guy for the PT. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready to talk to all these people yet. Like I just wasn't mentally fucking up for it yet.
Walking it straight back out again.
Just about. If I didn't have that PT, I might have. But like, no, it was good. It was good buzz in that. Like, it was good to see people like smashing it that early in the morning. But like, our peak times will be like 10 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday or 10 a.m. on a Thursday seems to be like always quite busy. And then like you can come in at 6 o'clock and there's like two people in. And it's like, this is so weird. But like, we've got a small membership base. They're quite an active membership base. But I think just a lot of people work from home and a lot of them just fuck off and they can get an hour, to be honest. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. Well, it's going to get bigger that member base, isn't it?
Ah,
Soon.
well, that's the plan anyway. But like we're at a good number right now, and we've got a good bunch. So I like the way it is now, to be
Oh,
honest. 'Cause
well, you posted about the new thing. You can talk about it, right?
yeah, yeah, I can talk about it for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Have you
But
got any like dates?
not necessarily, no. Like so for those that don't know, we're planning on moving the gym into a bigger building, expanding into there, and being able to just offer a bit more. Like it purely comes from a gym floor space perspective of like we just need more space, and this building offers that. So yeah, it's exciting. Like I've already got like 7 bits of kit sitting around there waiting to go. But like we've got a lot of work to do, so like it won't be anything anytime soon in the next couple of months or anything like that. But I'm hoping by the end of the year, to be honest, that we could have like set up round there as well, and then see how it goes from there. But yeah, it's exciting times to be fair. It's exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, nervous times as well because I'm like, fuck, how much is this going to cost?
Yeah, but I know there's quite a bit of work that he's doing to it, isn't there?
Yeah, and just the extent of the work, the soundproofing, and just getting it all right because like it's not far from where we're currently based, but like there's houses closer to this one than there is to the other one. So we've been made kind of put in like soundproofing that, which I was going to do anyway. I was going to soundproof it anyway, just out of courtesy. But the extent of it has grown arms and legs, and it's like it's almost like anything like council does or government kind of stuff or whatever, when you get involved in that kind of realm, it's always like way over the top, like way over the top, and that's where this has ended up. So, yeah, so no, like basically, at least the good thing is we'll be able to fucking put the tunes on as loud as we want because no one's ever gonna hear it.
Yeah,
I was thinking of like renting out as a murder room or something, just so like because no one will hear it, so no one will hear you scream.
from a saw.
Yeah, basically, yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be a good idea to do that though, because now I've just announced that on a podcast.
Yeah, so in case anyone goes missing, then look there.
Yeah, don't look at me. I'll be fine. I'm here to help people live longer, not less. But yeah, maybe I'm thinking that me and Sophie have been watching that thing you on Netflix. You watched that?
Oh, watched it. Oh, yeah, the new season's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's out. We've watched it. So
Is it the fourth one? Is it the fourth one?
yeah, I'd assume that's the end of it. But
Yeah, it's the one after London, isn't it? Or is he still in
yeah,
London? Yeah,
no,
it's the
no,
one.
it's the one after it. Yeah, but
I'm gonna watch it.
like maybe that's why that kind of thing's in my mind.
I'm
Getting
gonna
this,
watch that straight after this.
getting a cage. But I love that show because like I just love the inner dialogue that he has. Like he's just so about
It's,
himself.
yeah, it is fucking insane. Fuck.
Yeah. But like I bet you there's loads of people out there that think along those lines, or maybe not as insane as him, but like very narcissistic. Everything revolves around them and
You know someone like that? I used to work at a gym owned by someone like that.
no comment. Have you it's maybe not the time to ask, but have you heard any more about how that gym's going?
Oh, it's gone downhill, I've heard. Is
I- I've not even
apparently
seen any socials. I wonder if I've been blocked.
yeah, probably have. But no, apparently he sold all the kit I bought, all the good kit, and replaced it with shit.
Mm, yeah. That leads me on to another point nicely that on my other podcast, so I have another podcast called Business and Barbells, which is about gym ownership. And maybe we'll get him on it actually. But like we were talking about this, me and Matthew Walker were talking about this other day, like, understanding mechanics, like we're talking about machine mechanics, machine analysis as a gym owner, I say that is fucking essential because, like, if you're going to be picking gym equipment, you need to know what it's doing. Like, you need to know, like, I could just about tell by a picture of a machine how it's going to feel. Like, that is a skill as a gym owner you want to have for sure. But yet there is so many gym owners that will just fill it with shit and just not have an idea about what they're actually looking for, which is disappointing for the users at the end of the day. But yeah, that's just a little side note and a little plug for my other podcast. So yeah, fucking loving the two podcast life. Not easy. We've got a guest on tomorrow as well. We've got Jace from Elevate Fitness in Bidford. Have you heard of it at all?
No. Well, in Bedford.
Bidford or something, I think it's called.
No, never heard.
Well, Jason's an interesting guy. I met him on, we went to the Lego factory last year. I met him on that tour. So, yeah, good guy, great gym. So, I'll send you over his gym actually after this so you can have a wee nosy. But yeah, be interested to hear his story. That's kind of the idea of the podcast, to hear the stories of other gym owners and how they've, achieved what they've achieved and the things they've been through. And like basically for folk that are into that kind of thing, want to open their own gym or, they're even just interested in it to hear what the realities are because yeah, sometimes the realities aren't that great when you're battling the council. But yeah, it's a nice place for us to wrap things up. We'll be back soon.